E-commerce brands are leaving millions on the table by not mastering Amazon. In this video, I'm going to show you the exact strategies the top brands in the world are using, like Ridge Wallets, Hexclad, and BK Beauty, to dominate Amazon. So if your Amazon sales are lagging behind your Shopify, you're totally not alone. But what if you could unlock Amazon's full potential with just a few key strategies? My team and I have been helping add literally tens of millions of dollars in revenue to some of these brands. And today I'm sharing you the exact tips and strategies we use for our clients. And stick around, because tip number 5 is a total game changer that could transform your Amazon sales overnight. First off, let's talk about why Amazon should be a key part of your e-commerce strategy. Amazon isn't just another sales channel. It's literally the world's largest online marketplace with over 200 million Prime members and a massive built-in trust factor that is hard or impossible to beat. For brands that do it right, Amazon can become a major revenue driver. We're talking about tapping into a massive pool of high-intent shoppers who are ready to buy. And when customers are on Amazon, they're not just browsing, they're shopping. This means that with the right strategies, you can see a significant boost in your sales and brand's visibility. So first up, let's talk about optimizing your listings. On Amazon, your product listing is your storefront. It needs to be eye-catching, informative, and optimized for search. That means using the right keywords in your title, clear and high-quality images, especially for your main image, and compelling bullet points that highlight the benefits of your product is a total necessity. Your main image really needs to pop. That's actually by far the most important thing to draw them into your listing, okay? It's the first thing customers see, and it can make or break their decision to click on your product. This image should be different than the one of your Shopify website. It needs to stand out in a crowded marketplace. So for instance, if you're browsing supplements, I recommend checking out what they're doing. They're adding lots of effects, elements, splashing water, different things like that to really stand out from the crowd. Sometimes this means pushing the boundaries of Amazon's guidelines, but there's ways to play the game and make your listing shine. I recommend doing those things. Next, let's talk about your title. From an SEO perspective, the title is crucial. You'll want to place your most important keywords, those with the highest search volume that are highly relevant to your product, at the very beginning of your title. This helps to favor the organic ranking of those keywords, making it easier for potential customers to find your product. Can't emphasize this point enough. Whatever your most important keyword you want to rank for, put that in the beginning of your title right after your brand name in the exact form. Even if it's singular or plural, whether the most important keyword is singular or plural, has an S on the end, be very aware of that and add that main image to your title exactly as it's listed and shoppers are looking for. It makes all the difference in the world. To boost your click-through rate even further, consider adding things like coupons or running deals. These give your product badges that attract attention and make your listing more appealing as people are scrolling through your listings. Everyone wants a deal. On this past Prime Day, we achieved multiple bestseller rankings for brands like Woobles, Walkies, Ridge Wallets, Havenhurst, Hexclad, just to name a few, thanks to these strategic listing enhancements. Remember, Amazon is a bottom of funnel channel. Everything revolves around increasing your conversion rate by maintaining a high quality listing. So when people search for specific keywords, your goal is to ensure they're clicking on your product more frequently than your competitors and ultimately purchasing with a higher frequency. This approach forms the foundation of a successful Amazon store and makes all of your other efforts much more effective. All right, tip 2. Now that your listings are optimized, it's time to leverage Amazon's advertising to drive more traffic and boost your sales profitably. For D2C brands transitioning to Amazon, you're already likely familiar with spending heavily on platforms like Meta. In fact, that's probably the biggest expense in your whole company, perhaps. So on Amazon, many of those people just prefer the Amazon shopping experience. Perhaps they're seeing your ad, they're going to Amazon to buy your product, and they're searching for your brand name plus your main keyword, perhaps. So Ridge Wallets for men, as an example. We highly recommend for all D2C brands to really divide your advertising strategy into 2 different buckets, and that's what we call your branded versus your non-branded keywords. For your branded keywords, you've of course essentially already paid someone to become aware of your brand through your ads on Meta or wherever that may be. So you want to advertise that very efficiently. They're going there looking for your brand. However, you would be surprised how many people end up buying another brand. There will be people on Amazon bidding for your branded keywords, especially if you're a big player in the space, and you got to make sure that you are protecting your market share for your branded keywords. But basically, you want to spend as little as possible while capturing the highest amount of market share as possible. Then focusing on your non-branded keyword strategy, this is where we can really capitalize on all of these 200 million Prime users around the world. To keep it simple, let's say you need to be very well aware of what are your top 10 most important non-branded keywords high search volume, highly relevant for your products and for your brand. I recommend using a tool called Datarova, and you should be tracking those keywords every single day to know where you're ranking. Got to be on page 1. If you're not on page 1, no one's going to buy your product. Simple as that. Then you really want to cross-reference how you're advertising for each of those keywords. What are the performance metrics of those keywords? So just take, hexclad frying pan as an example. For the keyword frying pan, we put that in a totally different campaign, of course, than just hexclad frying pan. That's the difference between branded versus non-branded, okay? So for frying pan as an extreme example, because most people that are searching for frying pan on Amazon want to spend like $20, not a couple $100 or beyond for hexclad's incredible products, right? You want to be aware of how much you're spending, what are your profit margins and what budget you can have, campaign targets. But for your non-branded campaigns, you can spend much more money. So if you're a premium price D2C product, you probably have a very large profit margin to play with. And we recommend using PPC as a lever to increase your organic rank. So spend as much as you can profitably. I recommend spend as much as you can nearly at a break even for those search terms actually, because PPC is going to be a lever that increases your organic rank. And Amazon is totally a pay to play system. They reward you by spending a lot of money on their platform. So that's what you have to do, but be very smart and strategic with very clear goals in mind. For tip number 3, let's talk about mastering inventory management. So now that your listings are optimized and your PPC strategy is in place, the next critical piece of the puzzle is managing your supply chain efficiently. This is especially important for D2C brands expanding on Amazon, where crazy high demand overnight can put a serious strain on your operations. Keeping your products in stock is not just about meeting customer demand, but it's also about maintaining your product's ranking on Amazon. So if you run out of stock, you risk really losing valuable momentum that you've created over time and dropping in the search rankings, and sometimes it can be hard to get that back. All is not lost, but at the same time, it is a momentum game and we don't want anything to ruin that. And when you make a mistake with advertiser with PPC, that can be fixed instantly, right? You just log into your campaign manager and fix a campaign. When you make a mistake with inventory management, you could be hurting for months. Because the products have to arrive at Amazon, right? So that's why it's crucial to monitor your inventory levels closely and make sure that your supply chain is running smoothly. Leveraging FBA is obviously a total must, which is fulfillment by Amazon, of course. So that's basically Amazon's fulfillment centers. You're shipping your products usually from your 3PL to Amazon or directly from your manufacturer, whether that's in the United States or in China. Sometimes directly to Amazon, although that might get a little expensive and Amazon is more restrictive and how much inventory they allow. But FBA allows you to store your products, but you're gonna have to pay for it. They obviously handle all aspects of the operations. FBA was and is a total game changer that streamlines a business and makes the Amazon business model extremely scalable, right? But that's why you have to be aware of all of your fees, right? But by doing FBA, of course, you're gonna have your Prime badge. So unless your product is huge, heavy, very expensive, set it into Prime and just make sure that you're keeping optimal levels so that you're neither understocked or overstocked. And effective supply chain management also really means planning ahead. It's about inventory forecasting for major sales events, like Prime Day, Black Friday, Cyber Monday, different deals that you'll be running throughout the year, which we'll talk about in a little bit as well. And by forecasting demand and understanding how to plan for these peak events, like for instance, are we trying to hit 5x on Prime Day or 10x on Prime Day? Many of our brands did 10x this previous Prime Day compared to a normal day and beyond. It was pretty incredible to see. But the most important thing is you have to have enough inventory to meet that demand, but simultaneously not betting too much, putting too much inventory, and then those huge events not being even profitable. You might get a lot of top line revenue, no profit at the end of the day. That would be the worst. So let's avoid that by really wise forecasting. So basically managing your supply chain efficiently involves constant inventory monitoring, utilizing FBA to streamline logistics and finding out what are your optimal levels to keep at FBA, coordinating closely with your suppliers, forecasting demand for key sales events. So this is crucial to get right. It's never sexy to talk about inventory management, but it's the foundation of an e-commerce business. Get it right and you'll be able to meet the growing demand on Amazon without missing a beat. So by now you can see how crucial these strategies really are to succeed on Amazon, but executing them effectively really requires expertise and time, something many D2C brands are short on simply because they're focused on their core business and what's working. And really that's where Full Circle comes in. We fully manage some of the best brands in the world like Ridge Wallets, Hexclad, BK Beauty as well. The list goes on and on of like the best in class D2C brands in the world. We're running their Amazon channels driving millions in revenue. So actually click the link in the description below if you're interested to get a free audit of your Amazon account and see how we can help maximize your brand's potential on Amazon. So let's keep going with tip number 4. Mastering your deal strategy. When it comes to maximizing your performance on Amazon, peak sales events like Prime Day, Black Friday, and Cyber Monday are huge opportunities to cash in. These are the times when you absolutely want to be running a deal, and making sure you have the appropriate badge is crucial. Amazon has specific badges for different events, and they can significantly boost your visibility and conversion rates during these high traffic periods. During these peak periods, your conversion rate is going to be much higher than usual. And this is why it's critical to run your PPC campaigns more aggressively on these dates. Terms that might typically not be profitable can become valuable assets during high conversion periods. For example, keywords you'd usually avoid because of low profitability suddenly become very worthwhile targets. So aggressive biddings during these times can drive significant traffic to your listings, boosting both sales and organic rankings. Take, for example, let's go back to the Ridge wallets for men. For a very premium priced D2C brand like the Ridge, it's going to be very difficult for them to bid on these keywords like wallets for men, where perhaps the industry average is a $20 price in the market, right? Ridge is roughly almost $100. So it's very difficult for them to compete because of that. However, on these events, when they're running a deal, they've got the badge on their listings. Everyone knows Ridge wallets. They see it's on discount, and people get excited when expensive products are on discount. The way to really make bank is for these brands, if you're a D2C owner with a premium price product on Amazon, get your deal strategy figured out, and you can crush on these peak events. And then make sure that your inventory management is in sync. Make sure you are knowing exactly what you're going to target with all of your PPC efforts, and you can crush it and make so much money on these peak events. So we highly recommend for every D2C brand, every e-commerce brand, to make a deal calendar actually throughout the year. And you can sync that with your own Shopify website, so maybe there's an anniversary sale for your brand. There's these different peak events that we spoke about. Amazon has their own events. There's also the best deals and lightning deals, and you can schedule these out throughout the rest of the year. And I recommend literally putting on a calendar, mapping out your whole year, and that should add, if you're an 8-figure brand, that will add minimum several hundred thousands of dollars, if not millions, to your bottom line. This deal calendar that I'm speaking about should not just include your peak sales events on Amazon, but also your brand specific promotions on your Shopify store. So maybe you have an anniversary sale or different events like that are maybe a Father's Day, those type of events. So map out when you'll use different types of deals, such as lightning deals, which are temporary, fixed periods of time. They have a lot of scarcity feel behind them, which is great to get people to convert. Best deals, which can last for a full week on Amazon, are my favorite type. I would run best deals as often as possible. Or top deals, which is the top deal Amazon offers, which is honestly much less powerful than it used to be, but it still has its place and should be leveraged. And I recommend running actually top deals during non-peak events. During peak events, the Amazon front page is just littered with way too many deals. Even if you're running a top deal, it's hard to stand out. So use those top deals during non-peak times. That's my recommendation. And remember that there's rules around how frequently you can use these promotions. So by planning the frequency and timing of these deals throughout the year, you'll be fully optimizing your promotional strategy. For premium priced D2C products, offering deals is a powerful way to capture non-branded traffic, turning high-intent browsers into buyers. So this strategy of offering well-timed deals, combined with aggressive PPC and careful price mapping across your different channels, is really what sets the most successful D2C brands on Amazon apart from those still trying to find their footing. It's all about creating a seamless, compelling experience that drives traffic and converts at the highest possible rate. And finally, for tip number 5, it's all about a team. If you were a 7, 8, or 9-figure e-commerce seller and you don't have a fully dedicated person or team responsible and solely focused on your Amazon channel, you're simply leaving a lot of money on the table. So as I mentioned, at Full Circle, my agency, we're working with the absolute best brands in the world, running their Amazon channel from A to Z. So we've just fully managed everything, all the things that we discussed, with the absolute best practices in the world. Whether it's with us or someone else, make sure you have an expert level team in place for your brand. Implementing these tips and strategies that we've discussed will position your brand to succeed on Amazon. But remember, Amazon is a totally dynamic marketplace. Nothing is static. So resting on your laurels can quickly lead to setbacks, okay? This long-term strategy includes regular performance reviews, adapting to market changes like new competitors coming in, bidding on your keywords, etc., different deals coming up, events coming up, and you'll need to continuously optimize all aspects of your Amazon presence to ensure sustain growth, and keep you ahead of the competition. So now that you're equipped with these strategies, you're ready to take your Amazon presence to the next level. But to truly dominate the platform, there's one more thing you need to know. Click on this video to uncover the final piece of the puzzle. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more insights on mastering your e-commerce strategy. See you in the next one.